A powerful black CEO was dragged away in handcuffs by a racist cop while cameras rolled live in front of the entire city. Within hours, his reputation was destroyed, his family was threatened, and millions believed he was guilty until one hidden detail in the footage exposed a terrifying conspiracy nobody was supposed to uncover. What happened next left even seasoned reporters speechless, but let's start from the beginning. Rain fell over downtown Atlanta as reporters crowded outside City Hall. Cameras flashed the moment Malcolm Reed stepped from a black SUV. At 48, Malcolm was one of the city's most respected black CEOs. His company had just won a massive contract to improve emergency communications across Atlanta. "Mr. Reed, how does it feel making history?" a reporter shouted. Malcolm smiled. "This project is about helping communities that got ignored too long." Before he could enter the building, police sirens exploded nearby. Two cruisers stopped hard against the curb. Officers rushed forward. Detective Carson Hale, a white officer in his 50s with a cold stare, pointed directly at Malcolm. "Hands behind your back. Now." The crowd froze. "What is this?" Malcolm asked calmly. "You're under arrest for fraud and theft of city funds." Gasps spread through the reporters. "That's impossible," Malcolm said. But Carson grabbed him anyway, twisting his arm behind his back as cameras rolled. The handcuffs clicked loudly in the rain. Malcolm saw phones rising everywhere, live streaming his humiliation. His chest tightened. He remembered being 14, thrown against a police car after officers accused him of stealing a bike he had never touched. Some things never changed. A young black reporter stepped forward. "Detective, do you have evidence?" Carson smirked. "Enough evidence for him." Inside the police car, Malcolm stared out the window silently while social media exploded. Black CEO arrested live. At the station, Carson leaned close during questioning. "You people think money changes who you are." Malcolm's eyes narrowed. "What did you say?" But Carson only smiled. Hours later, as the city watched the footage online, one freelance journalist noticed something strange hidden in the video. And that discovery was about to crack the entire case open. By morning, Malcolm Reed's arrest had gone viral nationwide. Some people called him corrupt. Others believed the arrest was racial profiling in front of cameras. Freelance journalist Nia Carter replayed the livestream repeatedly inside her apartment. Something felt wrong. Then she saw it. Right before Malcolm was arrested, a white envelope slipped from Detective Carson Hale's jacket pocket. The camera caught it for barely a second. Nia paused the frame. The envelope carried a city seal and the words, "Internal Review Horizon Bridge Contract." Her eyes widened. "How did he already have confidential documents?" she whispered. Nia called a source inside City Hall. "What's really happening with Malcolm Reed?" The man lowered his voice. "Malcolm found missing city money. Somebody wanted a scapegoat before the audit became public." The line suddenly disconnected. Meanwhile, Malcolm finally walked out of jail after local pastors and business owners helped pay his bail. Dozens of community members waited outside the station. An elderly black woman grabbed his hand gently. "Baby," she whispered, "don't let them destroy your spirit." That night, Nia uploaded her analysis online. "Pause the footage at 2:14, she told viewers. Detective Hale already possessed sealed investigation files before the arrest happened. Within hours, #JusticeForMalcolm began trending. Former police employees started sending anonymous messages to reporters. Several accused Carson Hale of targeting successful black business owners for years. Then the biggest shock came. A city accountant disappeared. Before vanishing, she emailed journalists one terrifying sentence. "They're trying to frame Malcolm Reed." Suddenly, City Hall stopped answering questions. And Atlanta's silence no longer felt confident. It felt afraid. 3 days later, protesters filled the streets outside police headquarters. Success is not a crime. Who stole the money? Malcolm Reed watched from his lawyer's office, exhausted. I worked my whole life for respect, he said quietly. And one arrest erased everything. His attorney shook her head. This was never about justice. Meanwhile, reporters surrounded Detective Carson Hale outside the station. Did you target Malcolm before evidence existed? No comment, Carson snapped. That evening, leaked body cam footage hit the internet. The video showed another officer asking Carson quietly before the arrest. You sure we got the right guy? Carson answered coldly. Doesn't matter. He fits the story. The city exploded with anger. Even Malcolm's teenage son, Isaiah Reed, stopped going to school after classmates mocked the arrest online. One night, Isaiah finally asked his father, "If you weren't rich, would anybody care what happened to you?" Malcolm couldn't answer immediately. Then another bombshell dropped. Nia Carter received secret financial records from an anonymous source. Millions of missing dollars had been routed through fake companies connected to city officials. At the bottom of the files sat one signature: Detective Carson Hale. Malcolm stared at the documents in disbelief. This whole thing was planned. But hours later, Nia's apartment was broken into. Her cameras vanished. Her laptop disappeared. And spray painted across her wall were 3 words: "Stop digging now." For the first time, Malcolm realized this case was bigger than racism. It was corruption powerful enough to scare an entire city. The courthouse overflowed with reporters, pastors, activists, and ordinary families. Inside, Malcolm Reed sat beside his wife wearing the same gray suit from the day of his arrest. Then the courtroom doors opened. Nia Carter walked in alive, carrying a hard drive. Whispers spread instantly. After the break-in, retired investigators had hidden her while she copied every stolen file. The courtroom screens lit up with emails from city officials. "We need a public suspect before the audit releases." Another message read, "Reed fits the narrative." The room fell silent. Then Nia played one final recording. Detective Carson Hale's voice filled the courtroom. "If the city sees a black millionaire in cuffs, nobody asks questions fast enough." Malcolm's wife quietly cried. The judge immediately dismissed every charge. But then something unexpected happened. Carson stood slowly before deputies escorted him away. "I told myself I was protecting the city," he said weakly. "Instead, I protected corruption and my own prejudice." He looked directly at Malcolm. "I saw a successful black man and decided guilt made more sense than innocence." Nobody spoke. Outside the courthouse, Malcolm faced the cameras one final time. "They tried to destroy my dignity in public," he said. "But the truth survived because people refused to stay silent." The crowd applauded. Then Malcolm looked directly into the cameras. "Remember the people who never get justice because nobody records their pain." For once, the city had no response. Only silence.